Good evening. Former race caller Ron Papps has said sorry to his wife and thanks to the judge after he was spared a jail sentence today. He's vowed never to drink alcohol again and he'll see a psychiatrist.
65-year-old Papps admitted recklessly endangering his wife Judy's life at their Port Lincoln home in January. The court heard when she refused to let him in her bed, he snapped. Outside the Port Augusta Circuit Court this morning, he said sorry.
I'd just like to apologise for the grief I caused my wife, family and friends. I'm completely remorseful.
Justice Anne Vanstone said Papps was one of the first conscripts to serve in Vietnam. He'd been drinking heavily that night on top of his regular medication for depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. When his wife rebuffed him, he grabbed a pillow and entered her bedroom, saying something like, "I'm going to get you this time. I've been wanting to do this for a while." But the judge found good reason not to jail him, citing his extreme remorse and his pledge never to drink again. She imposed a minimum 10-month suspended sentence and a $100 bond.
And I'd like to thank Justice Vanstone for her compassion, understanding and fairness.
He's promised to seek psychiatric help and is planning to reconcile with his wife, who wouldn't give evidence against him. Graham Hunter, 7 News.
Home buyers have been given another break, with latest figures showing inflation is under control. That eases pressure on the Reserve Bank to lift interest rates next week, which could mean a fourth month with no mortgage increases.
With all the price pressures families have been facing,
it's always hard, but, you know, children and bills and whatnot.
Australians have finally caught an economic breather. Latest inflation figures saw tobacco up 15%, medical care up 3.8%, petrol 2.1% and rent 1.1%. But a domestic holiday is 6% cheaper, fruit down 4.8%, veggies 3% and audio-visual equipment a whopping 6.3%.
Well, it's tough because you've got a lot of retailers out there competing against one another.
The bottom line, inflation was up only 0.6% last quarter, 3.1% for the year, but underlying inflation just 2.7%.
And it's that last figure that impacts on interest rates. 2.7% though is bang on target for the Reserve Bank, so we're likely to get a break when its board meets here next week.
But the pressures are growing for the most disadvantaged. Anglicare says refugee families and carers need extra support. Paul Caddick, 7 News.